I need to come clean. This whole time, I've secretly been a giant weeb. No, hold up. I can explain. I have a story about cursed blades with magic powers. This all starts during the Sengoku period, the period of constant civil war in Japan. And when I say constant, I mean like 150 years straight of warfare. When a society is at war for that long, warriors and the weapons they use take on extreme cultural importance, which leads me to a master swordsmith called Muramasa. Now, Muramasa was already well known in Japan for making beautiful, unique, and extremely well-crafted swords. His swords are so special that in order to describe them, you need to put the prefix Muramasa in front of it. For example, Muramasa Ba refers to his unique style of hamon. Hamon is that line formed during the hardening process. His are characteristically unpronounced, like waves on a receding shoreline. Muramasa was known as like some crazy guy where the only time he could really concentrate was when he was working. But like all great men of history, he was probably autistic. I mean, come on. The famous story goes that one day, in order to prove the power of his swords, he dunked it in a pool of water. Suddenly, all the leaves floating on top of the water moved towards the blade and willingly cut themselves in half. You know that urban myth where if you draw a katana, it has to taste blood before you can put it back? Well, that comes from Muramasa blades. But those are all stories. What we can really prove is how it affected the Tokugawa clan, the clan to reunite Japan after the Civil War. Almost every big member of this family was affected by a Muramasa blade. For example, his grandfather was killed using a Muramasa blade. His father was stabbed by some drunk guy who was using a Muramasa blade. And his son had to commit seppuku with, you guessed it, a Muramasa blade. Even after all this, Tokugawa Ieyasu still preferred using a Muramasa blade. That's just how good they are. Muramasa blades even made a comeback during the Boshin Wars. They were used by the imperialists as a sort of anti-shogunate propaganda. It said that the people who used these blades would go crazy themselves if they didn't kill someone. So what do you think? Do you think it's a curse or it's all coincidence?